right now. Okay. There we go. I'm sure Anya will be in a few seconds. Oh, there's Carmilla. And Annalise. Got a nice group today. Hi, Carmilla.
Hello.
Good morning, Camilla. Kalimera.
Kalimera. Kalispera is good evening.
Yeah, I know.
Hallo Annelies.
Hi, Annalise. Hi, Anya. Oh, Anya's still connecting. Okay, well, let's start because I don't know. Yeah, okay, we'll start in the meantime.
I go for it.
Thank you. I'm Hasina checking in from Newcastle, South Africa. And I'm in the space of raising my vibration. So, and this is a great vibration raiser, so thank you.
Follow that, Kara in TVA, France. And I'm in the space of being supported in the space to raise my vibration with the fan spinner. Last night we're meeting weekly, and he's like, do it. And I'm like, what?
I'm Lisa, calling from Krakow, and I'm happy to be with you and have the dragon behind me as a symbol for balance between the feminine and the masculine within.
Hello, I'm Annelies, calling in from Vrijland. It's a little bit cloudy, but it's not cloudy in me. And my source connection is very open. And my frequency is quite high, I suppose. And my womb is filled with beautiful little babies. So this is where I am, really down to earth also.
Carmela checking in from Kefalonia in Greece. And I'm feeling a little bit in limbo. It's like I was just getting very definite messages, and I'm just sort of sitting here in this open space waiting for direction. It's just like, okay, I've done what I needed to do now. What's next?
I'm Amelie from Amsterdam. I have my frequency in these days at the start of my day when I wake up. I say, I'm a divine being. And then to continue this for the rest of my life. This is my exercise now. So it's a lot of humor too in me.
I'm Sabine, I'm living in Cologne, Germany. And Amelie, I do the same as you. I sit down every morning and I ask, or I sort of say, I'm present and I'm a multidimensional being, whatever that means. And I open for synchronicities and divine wisdom. And I feel very strong lately. I have the feeling something just left, and I'm very happy, very grounded and very peaceful inside. And I really feel it's a great time. I have lovely projects looking forward to spread them into the world. And I'm very happy, Juliet, that you're sitting here and to see you all. And yes, I'm radiating a big yes for life.
Juliet from County Cork, Ireland. And I'm just processing all the amazing, amazing experiences that have happened over the last couple of months. And I'm looking out on what's called in Ireland a soft day. There's it's almost a soft rain, but it's almost more like a mist that just softens everything. And it's so beautiful. And I'm so happy to see all of you here. So dear to me. Thank you.
This is Anja checking in from Germany, from Flohnheim, from the vineyards, and from a rainy day. And we're having rain in our rooms because in our shop, it rained through the roof into the space, which is practically seen, not quite the best condition, but we had a beautiful talk with our lesser, and he also had rain and fire yesterday. So I see that the frequency is very high, but people also are in communication about that and can really go into dealing with the practical stuff. So this is where I am. I have to deal with the practical stuff, and some things really don't, even if I'm prepared and I'm well prepared and I know how to, they really don't work. And I'm just observing and see, okay, let's deal with that. So it's like doing the website, doing things and links and everything. And sometimes it's really not, we're not coming together. So Kara and we're really wanting, but we're not coming together somehow. It's not a bad will or bad, not focused intention, but I'm really dealing with that. Okay, I'm just putting the question again and say, okay, which is the intention which is there to do it? which is the best intention to do it, and then everything will work out. And I want just quickly to share, I had I'm coming from a weekend where where everything was shamanic and practicing and being in that space and we also wanted to deal with practical things. And in that group, we were really not able to follow the practical things. Some were really, okay, we have to focus now and to the website, blah, blah, blah. Nothing happened. So we had to deal, and we wanted to have healing sessions. We wanted to be with each other and just be there in that space of being. And that's what always is flowing. And I'm just with that here, and also yeah, full of grace and gratitude to see Juliet here, being very humble and thankful to be in that space. And that's what I'm sharing. And I'm sharing a blue light, and I'm bringing a blue light of clarity with me today.
I'm Brian in Krakow, and I'm presently living in two worlds, making plans for a journey to California, and recognizing that there may just be 7 or 8 weeks before bridging continents would be way too early in the morning to join. But it's lovely to be with you all.
Oh, Brian, you'll be with us in spirit. You and Lisa. Well, it's a really great space. I know we will be talking about awakening to humanity's sacred mission. So maybe, is there someone who wants to share anything just before we talk about that? I don't know, Kara, is there something? Okay, I'll definitely, Kamala, I see your hand. Kara, is there something that you wanted to share maybe about the things you're doing with Dan Spinner, or about something else, or about awakening to humanity's sacred mission, anything?
Well, we launched Amplify Each Other's Light this week, and so it's really great that we've committed, and we're doing it, and we have people, and just to see, even in that launch party, I felt like with Camilla and Mark, they were like already talking about kind of like life-changing openings and capacities that have happened in the last time space where we've been holding the field together for that, and for me too, for sure, and for Lisa as well, who's running the course. So just finding that commitment to take our spiritual gift and find their grounding, and find the practical piece to add with it, so we can really thrive, and we can really bring and normalize all this energy work into the world, so that we really create life becomes how we see it and how we care for the world. That becomes normally how everybody is doing it. And then, so walking that path together is really inspiring, and I'm really, yes, grateful for that.
Your hand was up.
I just wanted to point out a beautiful synchronicity that I noticed when everybody was speaking. Anya spoke about bringing a blue light energy. And I know that Kara's had a sore throat this week, and I can still hear it a little bit in her voice. And the blue for the throat chakra just kind of jumped into my awareness.
Anyone else feels called, Juliet? You're muted. Let me just ask you to unmute. There we go.
I just wanted to thank you all so, so much, and particularly Annalise for holding, creating that space and holding me in the power of 8. And just as an update, I'm still very much convalescing. The day before yesterday, I was starting to think, oh yeah, I can do it. And then I was whacked back to bed all day yesterday because my body's not into doing anything right now. And just taking, I just being warned again, just very, very slow in the doing things. So I'm with you all in spirit, but I have to be very careful about engaging. Thank you.
Thank you, Juliet. Yeah, it is amazing how one's body and in some ways it's a blessing, just to have one's body being able to tell one that, okay, just slow it down. It's coming.
And maybe Anya can just remind us all about what's happening tomorrow.
I just first wanted to add something to this thread. Also about some essence of surrendering in this moment to what is, and really open up to what the body wants, actually. And it's not easy to work embodied at this moment because the normal way of doing things and wanting things is not so clear, and for some of us it does, and for some of us it does not. And so it's beautiful to add that to this thread. It's surrender what wants to come through the body, because nature decides. I cannot say it often enough. It's not us. We are just nature, but it's not us who decides. We might make it want to happen, only if it really naturally passes through us and feels that we're cold or that our body is moving. And this is the only way to raise these energies which we need and also be grounded. I really love to add that because I do not want to be in a place where I feel that I have to do things because things are going on, because I do that every day. So I need to say this. Whew.
Yes, it is so beautiful you mentioned this, Annalise, and it is saying the words raising the energy is again a sort of contradiction, because I can feel also in this group this energy is raised, but it's all the time the practice, like daily, every minute even, to be there, to give in, to be there. So we learn a lot about even words can change energy, or reactions, what I learned from Lisa and Brian, of the mind can even change energies. And I'm very aware, as if in these moments, it's very secure. Is that a good word? Secure? Minimal.
Subtle.
Subtle, yeah. Very, very subtle. Like all the time. and even in the area where you cannot give words. So I notice now that I can hardly speak, because you come in a realm where it's so still. And there I mentioned where to be the divine energy, the will or the must or the have to or the is not existing there. And it needs a lot of time. That's what I notice.
Juliet. There we go. Unmute.
I hope this isn't out of place, but I very much feel called to say this after listening to you too. It's just, I had the most powerful night last night. And one of them was a dream where I was on a bus and there was a man who was going to kill or rob, or he was going to do something that was going to hurt people. And I kind of went to him and started trying to bring that out of him so that other people could know, this is a guy we got to be careful of and maybe we should do something. Then he pulled out a gun. And then I suddenly thought, wait a minute, this is all old paradigm. If we are to be the love, then we should be trying to heal him and not target him and make him like he's a criminal. How do we do that? Like, how do you move from knowing that conceptually, cognitively, that we are one, to actually doing it? And so I said, okay, let's repeat that. Let's cut and let's do this again. So what is it called for to be able to heal him rather than provoke him to carry out this that he's called to with the shadow of him? And then I realized that it was like the Buddha said when he had approached, I can't remember, there was some story where he had approached a man who was killing everybody. And it was realizing that I'm willing to give up my life because I love you so much, and look and be the love so that he can feel completely relaxed, accepted, and belonging, so that the shadow can go away. And what is it that makes us flip between cognitively knowing that we are one and yet carrying on with old patterns of behavior? So when somebody triggers us or when we see something wrong, we interpret it as something to be stopped and wrong, to being the love, the medicine, the divine mother that's going to heal the world and heal humanity. What is that process? And so started that, and it comes right down, as you said, Annalise. And what went through me all during that process is to radically relax, willingly allow, and lovingly and gratefully accept the divine spirit to replace, allow to release who I thought I was, all the old patterns, all the old thinking and belief systems, and then be filled. Because if we don't do that, we can't be the ones who are healing. We're just thinking and talking and teaching. And yes, that's important, of course, but now is the time that we need to be that. Not just to do the actions of running the workshops or to be talking to others or telling others, but to actually make that transformation, transmute within ourselves, so that we really can be the medicine that heals humanity and the earth. Thank you. I just want to share that.
Yeah, if you don't mind, with a little warning of graphic violence, you can say no if you don't want that to be brought into this space. But let's give a second. My sister's lives in America, and the school in the town next to her had a young man come in with the gun and start shooting the children. And the principal stepped up and he kept walking towards the boy and he kept shooting him. and he kept walking towards the boy, and I don't think he successfully stopped him or anything, but so he gave his life, he died. And so he was trying to be that amount of sacrificing his life for, I didn't hear if the story was what energy he was doing it from, you know, but it was just so clearly echoing that I just thought I should say it here.
And I think I'm very sorry that happened, Kara. And I think if we could just take some silence and just send some healing out to, you know, all our loved ones, the world, or you know, just being the healing, just like you said, Juliet.
Yeah, and especially any of those young men who are kind of thinking that they'd like to be the next shooter.
Yeah. Lisa, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like just to add what we're exploring, and as I had brought in the dragon, and the dragon energy is very much with me, I feel the collective healing. It's like Juliet said at one point, love them free. So it's the divine feminine that can heal the world. And the dragon, as I understand it, it's the balance between the female and the masculine divine energy, but it was feared for several thousands of years, especially here in the West, because of the divine feminine. So, and now I feel this is what the dragon energy, and we enter the dragon year 2024. It's really calling all the traumas and wounds that are around to really activate the female divine energy within us, so the heart energy, and yeah, love them free, like letting our heart even expand and expand, and can we hold all the shadow that is showing up. Yeah, thank you.
I think that's a really nice segue to tomorrow's ceremony, for holding that space to go into the darkness and to hold space for people who are normally hated, or the forces that we're normally angry about out there, you know, and to really, what does it mean to go into these places of darkness and really bring our love and care there in ourselves and in people who are destroying things in the world, and to patterns that are, and old prayers that are not serving us, so to be that dragon.
maybe this is a good space for Kara. I think, was it Anya? You were going to say something. Was it to do with the ceremony or something?
I'm so humbly and full of gratitude because everything has to do with it. I have to do, you have to do, all your thoughts, everything what we're doing is an answer on the question we were not be able to pose. So I really do feel that everything is there. Yeah, I can mention something later what I think, but go ahead, Hasina, with your thought. It's so lovely to follow the thread and everything one at a time.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just going to, I'll give Annalise the floor, and then I was just going to shift gears into the awakening to humanity's sacred mission. So, yeah. So, are you complete, Anya?
Kara mentioned this sentence of mentioning what we're doing tomorrow, and I think she put already in words what it is about, and so there is not more much to add on this, but this call, the call we were called to follow, is the new moon ceremonies, which were there. So there is an old prayer, there is an ancient prayer, there is already something what happened last year. So there's something to carry on, and how we do it and how we weave into what is already there. It's the story we are in, and we are weaving it into that what is already there, and which is a bigger thread or bigger steam that's there. So we started to weave it coincidentally and not to skip our date. So weave it coincidentally to that what is happening tomorrow, and support this call that is happening tomorrow. So our first intention had been to look at this collective spell and the old prayers and the paradigm and the darkness, what Kara pointed out. And then we thought of skipping it because there are 2 appointments then, and we thought about that. And then we said, no, we just call in the energies that we, with that what we are heading to do, can support everything. So what is everything? So we want to support the bigger mission. So we, with the help of also Kami and Kara especially did that, put it on the One World page. So there is it under the mission. Then we, or she put it under the Haag Center. So we really co-created it. It's not an event of her and me, but we are the facilitators. We are there as persons that are showing up, as you are invited to show up as persons that doing the next new moon ceremony. So the container is set. It is a safe space. It's everything what we just talked about. There is the safe space, and we are all holding it. So each one is having a certain energy and possibility. And I'm so glad to just feel that that also I am, if something is not happening as I thought, I can just show up and say, okay, I couldn't do it. Yeah. And nothing happened. Really nothing happened. And that's what I really explore here in this field. And it's not a bad thing that nothing happened. It's just like it is. So we're exchanging informations about that field. And coincident, I had a visitor yesterday, which is coming with that womb energy and healing things. I have to share with you, Kami, at a certain space. So I'm carrying the dragon energy. I was able to send out the ashes and everything, but I know all this energy has to be in, and it's just unfolding. So what we're doing is we're opening the space tomorrow, and Kara and me, we did not spend hours in preparing everything. So we're thinking it as a ceremony which is taking place. We set up the time, we changed the time, so it will be upfront to the awakening.
Okay, so what time?
It's 8 o'clock CET time.
Okay.
So if you look up the Facebook event page, it's EET time. So don't be confused about the time zones. It's 8 o'clock CET and up to 9:30. So then after that, the awakening mission things that are happening there can be followed in the evening then. So we
Okay.
can write that. We can write
Yeah.
that down later on in our chat again. So these are the follow-up. So we saw
8 p.m. 8
um,
p.m.
because you, Hasina,
Oh,
was
sorry.
behind the study.
God, it's just me. I'll write it again. 8 p.m.
Yeah, it's PM. Yeah, so we were inspired because you put the schedule in, and then we saw, okay, we should correct the time a little bit. So we are at 8 o'clock. So each and everyone that want to be in that space of supporting that mission and calling in, what we call to what is needed to support this mission and humanity's spirit, to call it in. That's what we want to
Okay.
support.
So if people want to register, they can just go to you'll see it in the chat there, and you can register there. So that works.
You can register for free, or you can give a donation, and it's just nice to register because then you get a calendar invite and the link. It all comes to your email, so that's why it's nice to register. It's a very simple registration. I think you have to click twice to get there, but it's okay.
Yeah, Annalise, you speak, and then I'll just continue with the humanities sacred mission. Yeah.
Indeed, I speak, yes. I invite us for tomorrow to hold the darkness. And next to what you said, bringing the light in, I invite you to stay as long as possible for you to stay in the dark. These months are really, 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 we are in winter time now. We are in a very dark space. It's lots of dark to hold, but also to prepare ourselves to be with this dark. And the movement from bringing light, as you are already a light being, that will work itself out. But the beauty must be that people can be with the dark. And I feel this is what's ours to hold for tomorrow. And we be with you all the way, in person or not. But this is my invitation. And this is what I really wanted to express. So, Hasina, I'm not wanted to take too much time. So.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. And that's the whole thing, for us to voice what we need to, whether it's in just speaking our truth or deep listening. And yeah, tomorrow, so Awakening to Humanity's Sacred Mission begins. And there are different sessions. I just want to remind you of the different sessions, because there are sessions which will be in time zones that suit us, and then there are other sessions that will be like midnight CET, for those of you who can't sleep. And the nice thing about all these sessions is that it's not just the speakers who are speaking, and there's an amazing lineup of speakers, but it's not just the speakers. There's an engagement session where there are going to be discussions, there are going to be breakout rooms. I know that Anna Marie and I are involved, facilitating session 2, which is implementation. So session 1 is just humanity's sacred mission. Session 2 is implementation. And then it's synergizing for change. Session 3, you know, and there's like peacemaking, embody and engage, bringing it home. And that's between tomorrow and Sunday. And then a week later is the harvest, because there needs to be a processing and, you know, just coming back to scent. And then the harvest will be where we all get to share, well, what did we get? Annalise, you were talking about, you know, holding the darkness, and for us to be that candle, to be that light in the darkness, things like this help, because we're able to not just raise our vibration, but we're able to evolve and grow and get to the place where we asked to be and do what it is that we feel called to do in the world. So this is it's going to be quite brilliant. We will be able to participate. There's a double registration. So first you register for the event, which I think most of you have done. And then you get an email, and the email will have a Zoom link, but you need to register for the Zoom link. It's just to prevent unwanted interactions. So yes, so just
Glad they're doing that.
what are you saying, Kara?
I am glad they are doing that.
Yeah, me too. And yeah, so if you get the email, don't just think that that's it. Just know that you're going to register on Zoom, and you will get a link in your email. That's it. And the session 2 that Anna Maria and I are going to be facilitating is actually at midnight CET. So it's going to be at that time. But the rest of the sessions, I mean, there will be ones you can watch the recordings, and there will be ones that, you know, you'll want to attend. Annalise?
Can you repeat the day on which you do that and the topic? You and Anna Marie?
So that would be tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, so midnight. In other words, beginning Saturday morning. It's at midnight CET. And it's called implementation. So they're going to be speakers, and I'm just looking at the poster now. Sarah McCrum's going to be there. Michael Sheldrick, Giacomo Pedronzini, Alessandra Farina, Adam Hall, Harry Uvegi, Tamsin Woody Barker, and Rocky Dawuni. So, you know, it's a great lineup of speakers. So if you are awake at that time, feel free to attend. We'd love to have you there. Is there anything else that anyone wants to ask about that? And if not, anything else anyone wants to? So, yes, Rina?
Can you just send the link again in the chat, because I missed it for some reason, about what you just said?
Yep, okay. Let me just get it. In the meantime, if anyone else has anything they'd like to bring forward, please feel free. Kara, what is that link? I thought I had it open, but I don't seem to.
For the symposium, I searched Unity Earth Symposium 2024, and that's when it comes up on Google or whatever.
Okay.
Make sure you go to Unity Earth website.
There we go.
And then events, and it's the top one.
Okay, Symposium 2024. Got it.
And do it too, just for people's I can.
Oh, thank you, Kara. Okay. So Sabina, you can just register there. Anything anyone feels called to. Let's see. Oh, just on time, Anna Marie. Hi, Anna Marie. She may not want to.
And running, yay! Hello. Just sorry to just drop in like that, just coming to say hi because I have a visitor. But I just wanted to, I gave him a coffee and said, please spend time with yourself. Let me just say hi to everyone. So here I am, but I'm just dropping into any conversation. So you might want to finish your round off your conversation. I'll just listen in a little bit and then see when there's a space for me to check in more.
There's
were
a
just
space for you.
very silent. You were very silent.
We talked about the awakening humanity to humanity sacred mission. We talked about that and just bringing anything anyone wanted to bring, and that's when you came. So this must be your time.
Oh, it's so wonderful to see you all. Really, it touches my heart. And what a beautiful dragon. Oh, Lisa, my goodness. Oh, and it's on my screen. It fits beautifully. It flows over into Kara's background, and then it goes to the side. It flows into Anya's background. So, and then into the woods of Juliet. So I'm going to make a picture of it because it's really amazing. Or somebody else can do it because I can't do the screenshot. Or I can, but I don't know where my computer puts it. I never can find the backing.
Screen.
You do it with your phone sometimes, don't you?
Yeah, I always do it with my phone because I gave up spending all this time searching for the pictures. I thought I'll just do it with the phone, then I know where it is.
That's as if you do it, Anna Marie, because I have another setup from the
Ah,
picture.
yeah. Oh, yes, that's true.
Actually, now you can grab the boxes and drag them to where you want them to be. Give it a try. I just did it to mimic what Anne-Marie said.
Oh, wow.
You could just click and then you could just put it where you want. Yeah. But this is how you showed up. This is how.
That's really nice.
Yeah, because I usually put myself somewhere below so that I see the others, because I don't need to see myself all the time. Whilst I'm always put in the second one, but then I put myself somewhere else so that, I could see the others. Oh, good to see you all.
Yeah, it's so nice. The purple goes to the wing and the red tentacles go to the red back of it. It's really awesome.
Oh, thank you, Brian. Cool.
Yeah, so I can't hear you.
And your sound is not there.
No. How's it going with Uncle Anya? Do you know? Oh, she can't speak. That's no use. I'll call you separately. So yeah, so what shall I share?
Well, I shared about our midnight CET session. And if there's anything else, and I shared about the general overview and how you have to register twice. So share any of your wisdom.
Okay. So I think one of the big learnings there in that context is that it is, even when we're so aligned as partners, as the different, if you look at all the logos of all the partners, that it is complicated to really collaborate. The nitty-gritty stuff then, you know, can sometimes trigger things, etc. And that the most important thing is to have the trust and to know that we're in our case all very much in the heart and connected to a deep love of life and of each other, respect, that we keep coming back into conversation. That's the biggest practice, to keep coming, and we know all that, but yeah, and here also we know that too. So if there are tensions, and I guess that's my biggest invitation to myself and all of us, when there are tensions, connect. The tension actually pushes us away. And then the thing to do is not to stay there, but to come back and connect, and then see how it can resettle in a way. And sometimes it resettles by saying, okay, we're going to disconnect. But very often it's just a question of coming back together and reconnecting. So it's heartwarming to see that also happening on this larger scale with these different networks. And I guess there was in some cases, even kind of like a surprise, because you don't always know when we get triggered, do we? We don't always know from the other. And that's also part of why in the Hague Center, but also in like the collaborative partners with the EU grant, we would first start to work about and speak with each other around what's my child conclusion. Let me just tell you, when it's probably I could get triggered, or when you recognize this kind of behavior, it might be that I'm triggered in my childhood behavior fix. And please have compassion and reach out to me, or slap you in the face to wake up, or whatever. So that we first kind of like have that that we get to know each other on that layer. Kara, you want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to add that in those childhood conclusion talks, we don't just learn it's like, oh, you're triggered, but we say, oh, maybe she's triggered in child conclusion too. And then you say, oh, well, you belong here. It's okay. We're friends here. We're going to sort this out. So you say the remedy to the trigger. You don't sort of point out that, hey, well, you're triggered, so let's stop talking, or whatever. So, and then also just the value of having a conscious witness, of a friend to hold the space for you to process your tensions. Because I find I'm like, oh, I have a tension with that person. I should probably address it some other time, and then I don't address it, and then the next time I see that person, I feel that trigger come up as soon as they start talking, and then I'm not addressing it, and I'm still sort of not addressing it. And so, but when I do take that, it's like, Dinah Claire, will you hold the space for me? I want to process the tension with the other person. She's so good at it. I can really trust into that space and say, hi, other person, and then she'll ask us the right questions. We'll get it all out, and then we'll get somewhere, and then that trigger can not be clouding up the field the next week and the next time they see the person. So I think, practicing it is saying it's easy, practicing it, like it needs some loving support and encouragement, yeah, and holding.
I think here, if I look at all your faces, we all know this, and putting it into day-to-day practice, and also in these days, and especially when there is so much, there's little time, we're having all these different time zones in the global context. When do we do this? That's when we really put it into practice. So I saw a message coming by. How can you support us? Holding the space for this coherence and this love and light to be there also in these coming these events. I think that's one of the things that you're already doing, which I highly appreciate, and is also appreciated by the some of the other partners that know that. I haven't spoken with everybody about it, but I do try and mention, and I do mention us as this weekly rhythm, and this work is really important. Annelies.
Could you say something about the core, the essence of the dark, which is in the middle now, just to really truly feel that as well? So what is at the core? What is the essence of the non-coherence?
Oh, there is no, because it's already been solved. We had these last 2 days, we had with that core group sessions and it was all on the personal level, misunderstanding, all that kind of thing, and just holding the space, addressing it, speaking with it, taking the time, even though we had so much on the calendar to say, we're going to speak about this. So there's nothing at the moment now.
Can you please try to get to what was underneath that? What was the core for?
Nice to name it.
Yes.
No, I can't. I won't be specific in a specific session, because that's, I think, the private conversation in that group. But what I can say is that it comes back to the child conclusions. That people get triggered by something in their own self, by a misunderstanding. They get triggered. They forget to first communicate and check. They run in, it goes a little bit too long. It goes there, and then suddenly it says, "Oh, wait. What are we doing? Okay, let's come back into a conversation." So I think it very beautifully, very quickly also, the people that were involved in that, because the triggers happened in a collective space, so you can't check it then. We're in Zooms all the time with 100 people or 80 people or whatever, so if we get triggered, you have to take the time to come back to each other in another moment. So that practice also is there, and then to have a space where we can address it and speak to it and hold the space for those that have been triggered. Intentionally coming back to it and understanding that that's the work that we're doing. Yeah. Juliette.
I see that we've only got a couple of minutes left, which isn't enough time, but Annelies, to address what you were saying, that was part of my journey when I really went into the depth of the dragon to find out what is this shadow that is killing the earth and killing humanity. What is it? I'm willing to die to find it. I have to go into the dragon's cave and find it. And what I was shown was this little beastie that has been developed through the ego, and it is the feeling of unworthiness and isolation and not belonging. Okay. And it is everywhere, in everyone, as wherever there's ego, because it is the thing that the impulse that drives it is survival, and survival at all costs, even to kill the whole. And it is this, and only by looking at it and embracing it with unconditional love, because any kind of rational communication with it, any kind of trying to reason or it's so smart and it's so adaptable and it's so sensitive to seeing what's happening, and any kind of coercion or trying to convince it that it's safe when it's not absolutely sincere. It knows it, and it will protect itself, defend itself, lash out, do whatever it can. But the only way it can be transmuted back into the wholeness of the divine is through releasing your own ego, your own sense of separation, and by bringing it home with all your love, welcoming yourselves back together as one, and seeing that you have it, each of us have it. It's nothing personal. It's not a personal thing. It is everywhere. It is part of the ego. Anyways, I'll end there because I know we need to go, but it was an incredible revelation and solved a lot of my questions too. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Annelies, for that question. Wow, Juliette. Yes, all yes to that. Absolutely.
Well,
yeah.
I have a suggestion for our close. How about we each put something into the collective space, whatever we want to put into the collective space for just healing and just being with the light and, filling the space we call darkness, just filling all of us, as Kara would say, amplifying each other's light, which I think is so beautiful. So one word or two words or whatever you feel called to say, a popcorn start. Unless you want to say something before that, Anna Marie.
I'm just imagining what we put in the center is from that little beastie inside of us, you know, they like put that in the center. Who's the one who keeps coming up? Yeah.
I'd like to put in divine feminine, because I think that the slaying of the dragon in history was actually the slaying of the feminine power. So it's love, compassion, all the archetypes of the divine feminine within us.
Belonging. Because for me, I think that is where all of the darkness stems from, is that everything that we attach to belonging, that sense of being seen and accepted for who we are, as we are, where we are. When any of that is missing from that sense of belonging, the things that stand in the way of that is what opens up the darkness. And if we can find the sense of belonging within ourselves and share that with each other, then we just open up so much more.
Ending with what I began with probably is that being always this light pillar, always, we are really enduring the dark as long as necessary to see the light coming through in us. Nothing to do. Enduring is a verb.
I'll put in voice, just deeply voicing one's truth and including deep listening.
Put in for healing my attachment to praise, that from external validation.
Courage to connect.
When I connect to these beats, immediately my heart starts to cry. I bring in tears. The tears for all the seconds where we miss love.
I'm just going to be Anya's voice literally right now. She says, I'm writing because my voice is not hearable through the mic. I just have my blue light in my heart, eye, and hands to light up all colors. Dark black is only absorbing light.
Bring in a sense of being brave to allow the pain, to see the pain in ourselves and in the world, and to really open up to that and to not be afraid, and to allow it to erase so it can be healed.
Compassion for myself, my shadow.
Has everyone gone?
Indeed.
Anna Marie, you want to say something to just close our space? Pardon?
Has Juliet said something?
Have you?
I know she put the call in the center, but I don't think.
No, yeah, this is so beautiful. It's just to experience viscerally in ourselves the release when we can love free all of what we have judged as being wrong and bad, and see it and know it as aspects of ourselves that are crying out for love, whether they be played out in the war crimes, in the terrible, atrocious behaviors that humans have done through the ages, but now calling them home to know that they are one with us, and that only by loving them free can we come back into our oneness.